Right, so hello everybody. I am going to be your host, ideally, for the Q&As and the build and stakes moving forward. So hopefully you'll all get to know me a little bit better, and you'll all get to hear plenty of what I have to say. But today will be the first time that we are kicking off the new build and stakes segment, which is a little bit more refined, it's a little bit more organized, and we want people who are presenting what they're working on to sort of make sure that they have enough of a product to really show off. Because the whole point of this is trying to sell what you're creating using the commune-ai system to everybody else and sort of get them to support you. So we want to make sure that what you're presenting is to a degree, well thought out, well laid out, and you can explain and show to everyone exactly the value of what it is that you've made. And so hopefully the new systems will facilitate this. So there's going to be a little bit of an adjustment period as we get used to it, but I'm sure by next week the segment will be a lot cleaner, a lot smoother, and a lot more enjoyable for everybody involved. If Fam has any words to say before we start?
Um, oh yeah, no. Yeah, let's see what people have built this week. And I know the last week, like I'm not sure if all the builders are aware. And yeah, there's been some reshuffling in the builders. So
Yeah.
we'll see what people present, and I guess having an incentive for like the people that present obviously are easier to vet. They've showed something, and so like I guess we want to incentivize like obviously the line of people that want to claim boundaries, but we want to give
Yeah.
priority to people that present like at the stage, and
Of
then
course.
obviously we need to go over through everyone else. But yeah, like whoever presents a full like something that's looks, even if it's an MVP, that's something that works, that's sufficient. If you don't present that, then we'll talk behind the scene
Of
until you
course.
do have that. But yeah, awesome. This is cool.
Yeah, without a
I
doubt.
think we should also note, Crenshaw, that we'll have 4 people present today. I don't know if we might be able to squeeze someone in at the end. But to anyone who has questions, feel free to always post them in the chat here. And we'll have a Q&A after each if you want to raise your hand and like come up on stage and speak as well. Ask your question.
We'll make some time for everybody to try and sort of squeeze in a few questions or pertinent questions. So make sure that you note them down, and we'll pick out 1 or 2 and try and get sort of answers to those as quickly as possible. I did want to note quickly there's a little bit of feedback from you, Fam. So I don't know if there's anything you can do to...
I'll just mute myself.
Oh no, it's okay. It's only when you're talking there's a little bit of background noise. That's all.
Okay, yeah. I'll just mute myself whenever I'm not talking.
Okay, not a problem. Right, so we're going to kick this off with Leopard, who has been working on a commune job site. So we'll bring Leopard up, and then they can present what they have for us. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So, Leopard, what have you been working on for us?
Okay, I'm Leopard. I'm going to build a community job site like above. Clients and freelancers have to buy commune-ai token to post to the job and bid on job on community job sites. I think it's important to create based strategy. On community job sites, when posting the job, clients should have commune-ai token of the same amount as the budget of project that would be posted. In summary, clients should buy commune-ai token if post to the job. We will have to public this role to freelancers so that they aren't afraid that client doesn't have the budget. Our strategy to give the trust to freelancers about clients. We will also have to give the clients the trust about freelancers. That is same as flowing. Freelancers will have to bid on client's job with commune-ai token. Eventually, they should have the commune-ai token when bidding on client's job. Our goal is to get many clients and freelancers, so I think much tokens will be shared. It would be probably take 4 weeks to develop this project. I've already submitted the initial design for our project. So I'm going to change the design a bit. Okay, so first week I will build the front end.
Okay, so
And
just to sort of circle back a little bit on what you were saying before. So effectively what you're creating is sort of like a hiring service using commune-ai AI token as the currency for people to request services from other developers.
Yeah, right.
Is that correct?
So, you are right.
Yeah, okay. So it's
So,
sort of like it's sort of like allowing people to advertise themselves and sort of creating like a give and take sort of job market within the commune-ai community.
yeah.
Okay, and what are you using to develop this? Sort of what languages are you working with, or what other modules are you sort of making use of to help you create this?
I use T3 stack.
Okay, T3 Stack, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and in terms of sort of like what's coming in the near future for this project, sort of where are we going within the next couple of weeks?
Next week. Oh, and next week I will create the backend. So, and
Do you already have the front end
so
created?
the first week I will build the front end, and next
So you
week,
don't have the front end built to sort
second.
of show off now for everybody?
Now,
Is there anything that you have for us to sort of like see to get a look at what it is that you've been working on here? Or is
now
it
I
just
don't
a,
have a front end.
okay, so it's just a proof of concept at the moment. It's sort of just the idea that you're communicating to everybody at present.
Yeah, this is cool, but in order to present, I think it's good to it's good to tell us your idea, but I think we prefer to see
Something visual.
actual, yeah, something visual.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that we're looking for. But you know, it's you can obviously explain what you're doing in the DMs or like on the server, but yeah, like we want to see visual applications in order for you to claim bounties. We don't we're not going to be doing bounties designs or anything. We want to formulate a proof of concept because we have the designs in mind already. And so for complete a bounty, then you know we want at least an MVP, something that's working. And then you know if we continue a bounty, and we need to at least define something to add on to it. And yeah, because otherwise these costs get out of control. People
For
can
sure.
bill anything really, but yeah, you know, good work regardless. I'm looking forward to seeing the front end and back end.
Yeah, it definitely
But
sounds
yeah,
like a
like
good idea.
yeah.
Okay, what we'll do is we'll bring the next up. So next up is going to be Yuki talking about their block space tracking. So let's bring Yuki up here. Hello.
Oh,
How are you, Yuki?
hello
You well?
everyone. Yes, I'm Yuki. Thank you all for allowing me to introduce my project, and I'm very excited to be part of this community. I've already proposed a mini white paper for the commune block space tracking project, which is just getting started. The aim of the project is to revolutionize the allocation and management of block space within the Polkadot ecosystem. Leveraging the power of the Polkadot blockchain and integrating with popular wallets like Polkadot Wallet and MetaMask, the project enables a decentralized and collaborative approach to optimizing block space utilization. Efficient allocation and utilization of block space are crucial for the scalability and performance of the Polkadot network. However, the current centralized approach to block space management has its limitations. Common block space tracking projects the common block space tracking project aims to
Oh, is everything okay?
the common block space tracking project aims to address these issues by introducing a decentralized and community-driven solution.
Do you have anything visual that we can look at, Yuki? Do you sort of have any visuals that we can look at? Do you have a front end website or anything that we can sort of like a roadmap or something for us to have a look so we can get a visual idea so everyone can see sort of the development as it's been so far?
Yes. I've already proposed the mini white paper.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a copy of that you can provide?
Yes.
Yeah, if you just put that into the Spaces chat channel, and then everybody can sort of follow along, and they can get an idea of what it is that you're developing.
So you mean I propose my mini white paper in chatting?
Yes, if you put it into the Vibing Space, the actual space, the stage channels chat text, if you can.
Yes. Just now?
Yes.
Yes. I will try. Just a minute.
No problem.
Just a second.
mini white paper 채팅해봐.
So at least then sort of everybody can have a little bit of a better idea of what it is that that's coming across and whatnot, so that they can get a visual representation, as it were. But yeah, it seems like a lot of the focus is on going through and having a program that seems to monitor the insights and analytics of the block space usage, and to sort of let people have a better idea of what's going on the blockchain or the Polkadot blockchain itself. Is that correct?
Excuse me. I
Oh,
can't input my mini white paper in chatting channel because it allows only text. So can I share my screen?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, go ahead.
Is it okay?
Yeah, that's more than
Yes.
okay.
I will try.
And then at least we'll have a visual representation of what we have here. Right, that's loaded. Everybody should be able to see.
Is it loading for you, Crenshaw?
Yeah, so I can see it. It's currently loading inside of the GitHub, but I can see the stream itself. Yeah.
Interesting. I can't see the stream. I don't know if others
Hello?
can see the
Okay, if you
stream.
can't, what I will do is I will.
Hello?
Hello. Yep.
I shared my screen. This is my block space tracking mini white paper.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Yep. Yep. We should be able to see. What I will do is I will find it. Here we go.
Okay.
And
Seems like it's
then
just-
I will try and post a link here in the chat channel for everybody. There we go. So there's a link in the channel for anybody who wants to see it. So here's the white paper. So this is obviously like a more detailed breakdown of exactly what the project's going to be. So I think this is still a project that's kind of in the very early stages. So it seems like their sort of like proof of concept is done as of right now, and then they're going to be looking at sort of actually developing, moving into the near future. Is that correct, Yuki?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I mean, it looks very interesting, and it's sort of like trying to focus on like sort of what aspects of optimizing the blockchain is it trying to focus on specifically?
So as you can see, the aim of this project is to
Mhm.
allocate the blockchains, parachains in efficiently and okay.
Mhm.
Minute. Just a minute. Huh? So as you can see, leverage the power of Polkadot blockchain in integrating with popular wallets like
Mhm.
Polkadot Wallet and MetaMask. This project enables a decentralized and collaborative approach to optimizing block space utilization.
Okay.
The main feature of this project is that users must log in and access using Polkadot Wallet or MetaMask and using a commune-ai token to monitor the parachain allocations.
Okay. So what's the benefit of this
So,
going to be? How are people going to be able to use this to improve things for themselves?
within the commune, participants can collectively monitor and manage the allocation and utilization of block space, creating a transparent and efficient ecosystem. And this project provides detailed insights and analysis of block space usage, and empowering stakeholders to make informed decisions and optimize resource allocation.
So make informed
they
decisions in what context? So what kind of decisions is this going to help people to inform?
so with the informed decisions, the stakeholders such as developers can use optimized resource. What can I say? Optimized block space to make their own smart contracts.
Okay, so it's going to enable them to engage with the chain itself a little bit easier and sort of get a better idea of what exactly is running through the chain.
Yes, right.
Okay, that sounds good. Right, we're running a little bit out of time, so if there's any closing comments or if there's any questions here, then by all means.
Yeah, like I think this is more geared towards Polkadot's block space, which isn't necessarily directly. It's only going to apply for Polkadot parachains. And at the moment, our focus isn't so much Polkadot's ecosystem; it's more the Solana and Ethereum, and maybe Sui ecosystem. Even though we're Polkadot chain, our goal isn't to connect with other Polkadot chains as much as it is with Ethereum and Solana. So just to mention that this isn't super much of a priority, although it is a cool idea. But I also, if I'm being honest, I'm kind of also confused as to how this would directly benefit token holders, because I don't think they've ever engaged with a lot of parachains. So this would be hard to use for a lot of people, at least right now.
If we can get like a better use case scenario, so if you can sort of find more examples of exactly how this could be adapted to be useful for the people within the commune-ai system, that would benefit sort of like getting your voice out there and getting people invested a lot. So that might be something to look at in the near future. If you ever want to come back on again, or when it comes to actually developing the module itself. But thank you very much, Yuki, for coming on.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Right. So next will be Kev, Big Dookie, who will be presenting a music mixer for us. So let's bring Kev up.
Testing.
Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good. About yourself?
I'm not too bad. So, do you want to get into what it is that you have for us here?
Yeah. Can I just drop a wave? I think that's probably the best, because I don't know how audio is going to work.
Okay.
But here, I'm going to share my screen real quick.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem.
So how many people know like the AudioCraft repository? Like, does anybody here actually has anybody played with it?
Yeah.
Okay, so MusicGen does this thing called continuations. It was originally designed to extend its own outputs, but you can use it to extend any audio. So one sec, I'm struggling. There it is.
So were its own outputs predetermined, for example?
Yeah, and so you're not text prompting it at all. I think you can, but as a musician, I'm not interested in text-based music making. That doesn't really work that way.
It doesn't work that well, yeah.
Yeah. And it's it's interesting because I'm a writer by training too. So you think I would enjoy text prompting, joining the two, but I don't.
Okay, so do you want to get into some use cases for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's one use case. This is called Gary on the Fly. Can you see my screen?
Yep. Yeah, it's coming through okay.
Okay, so audio is probably going to be a little screwed up.
No, it's coming through okay.
You guys might recognize this song.
I'm sure a fair few of us will do. Or is it the integration of these multiple sounds that you've got here?
So what it's done here is that first 5 seconds is it's trying to leave unchanged.
Okay.
And then the rest of the output is MusicGen. So this is five outputs right here.
So you've sort of given it a 5-second window of, I guess, baseline for it to then generate the rest of the music from.
Yeah, these start out as 30 seconds.
On its own.
Yep. So what this does is it's kind of like a little DAW.
Okay.
You can crop them.
Mm-hmm. Do they change
So let me
as
show you.
as you move them across, and was each
Yeah.
crafted with its own 5-second initial base
Yeah.
audio? Okay, so each
So
of
we've
these
got
is
this
like its
pop-up.
own. Mm-hmm.
And you select your model.
Yep.
We got some fine tunes. This
Okay.
is that's that important seconds right there, the prompt length.
Mm-hmm.
So you're choosing. It's actually like it'll totally change the output because
So is
it's
this
gonna like select.
Sorry, I think we might be on the wrong screen at the moment.
that
Oh,
is true. We can see your YouTube at the moment.
oh, right, because I changed tabs.
Mm.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
How do I change window? Oh, this is gonna be a pain in the ass. I can just
But you're-
change the whole. I can share the whole screen, right?
It might work. Audio may or may not come through, but I think we heard already, so I don't think it's a huge problem if the audio doesn't come through anymore.
Okay, yeah, but I'll get the Here we go, because you guys can see. So
So-
you actually just you can time it when you press this
We are
generate
still
music
seeing the
button.
YouTube.
You don't see the pop up.
I mean, we could see the.
I'm
we
at a
can, yes.
YouTube page.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think that's where the confusion's come from.
Here is the extensions pop up right here
Perfect.
on
Yeah.
the right.
Yeah, he's using an
So-
extension, so we can't see the extension, and there's no way to make it that possible. But it's a
Oh,
direct
you can't
extension.
you can't see the pop up window, huh?
Okay. Yeah.
That's unfortunate. So anyway,
it's okay.
but basically the workflow is you hit play,
Mm-hmm.
right? You pull up the. Right now I have it open,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can time it, so it's gonna listen to the playback position.
Okay.
So I pressed it right there,
Mm-hmm.
and then we go over to new tab. Let me change. Can you see my new tab?
Yeah.
The DAW. Yeah, so you
Mhm.
can see over here it's generating.
Okay, and so you're selecting like a specific period of any sort of. I presume it's any video, or is it only something from?
So it's any YouTube watch page. Also
Okay.
SoundCloud, but I have some errors with
And it's
SoundCloud.
only YouTube and SoundCloud for now. Are you sort of looking at branching that out into other sort of media hosting, or?
Well, so the extension itself, the reason I made it was like specifically because you can do that with the pop-up window where
Mhm.
like you can kind of just time it where
Yep.
you're pressing the continuation. You're getting the generation right when you pressed it while you're listening. So there's raw Python. There's like a collab notebook that you could just run it with any input audio. And that's actually what I use to like in my Ableton workflow.
Mm-hmm. And have you used this a lot for yourself personally? Sort of, what have you managed to use this for?
Yeah, there's actually like a collection of 21 videos.
Mm-hmm.
You can go watch on YouTube.
Could you share us the
And
link?
it's just, I basically to YouTube.
Yeah, yes. Drop it in the chat. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then
And what I mostly do is I just use the raw Python because I like to get like 20 or 30 iterations. Because it really is like a slot machine. Like it'll surprise you. Like.
Okay. And then so what's the plan moving forwards for adapting
So my
this
plan
further?
actually, I really don't know. Like I'm not a Web3 guy, so like
So you're sort of looking for maybe someone to give you some direction.
Yeah, and I think I said in the email or like in the form.
Yeah.
Like personally, I don't know how we ever charge per use for AI music.
Yeah,
I just don't see it.
Honestly, yeah, I agree. If you make it, it could be the best model. It could be like a subscription based model where it's like you pay like $5 or $10 a month and you get used to everything.
Yeah.
And then maybe if that doesn't when that becomes a problem, I think it's a good problem to have. It means you're spending more than people are paying, and then you just increase the monthly rate.
I think at the end of the day, like we can benefit from the sort of open source fine tuning and stuff that we could do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are kind of confused about how copyright's going to even work with this stuff, and I think a lot of people are like too afraid to actually explore this stuff when
it's hard.
players that aren't coming.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard because like maybe next week, or there are ways in which you can encrypt everything between your computer and someone else's computer, so that for someone to literally see what you're doing, they're gonna have to like, or which information they're sending, they're going to have to like literally be in your computer. But like, you know, if we just give people the tools to privately collaborate or without any surveillance, you know, that will allow for, it will not make it possible for governments or corporations to easily like say, oh, this person's copying from this music. If you just want to like, let's say, mix two songs together or something, right? Like I don't think you should be worried about that. But worst case is you have everything you send and received is fully encrypted, and yeah, like there's no way for them to know what you're doing unless they track an API key and say, oh, like this person, or maybe they might like, oh, this person scraped this data. But it's just so much. I agree. There's like a lot of like there's just too much like red tape, and we should just like, you know, build things that we think is cool and useful. And if we're, you know, if you get well known enough and people are going to care, they're going to want to sue you. At that point, you don't have to worry about. You're worth suing.
I'm fairly confident too, like as an artist at this point, that I can manipulate these tools in such a way that I know for a fact there's no way copyright would even come into question, you know, with the stuff that I'm making. So and everything that I'm making right now involves these tools. So I just kind of want to, I don't know, I think we should explore this space.
So are you
I'm
sort
going to
of
bring Alex up for a second. I think he has some ideas to share.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I was just going to say, do you sort of think that this then is like you sort of trying to show off what it is that you've made, as opposed to trying to get people to directly support you adapting it and improving it further?
No, actually, this is me saying that I would love some help figuring out how to incorporate this, because I'm still kind of like a peripheral member of this community. Like I don't, like I said, I'm not Web3.
Yeah.
I'm not even really a developer. Like I hallucinate things into existence with GPT. So
okay. I mean, so you're sort of looking for maybe people to partner with on creating some interesting things using this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna keep building this stuff either way. So
okay. I mean, I think
it's just become a part of my workflow, so it's kind of nice that what I'm building is stuff I'm going to end up using. So it doesn't even really matter if I get paid to build it.
No, I mean, I think just like me, quite a lot of people here are very interested in what it is, because it's something interesting and unique, and it seems very accessible, and the ease of use seems to be there as well. So it definitely seems very good. But yeah, no, if anybody has any questions quickly for Kev before we.
I think Yax might have a few questions or inputs regarding the membership model or how to actually monetize such a thing.
Yeah, if you want to.
Sure, yeah, we chatted a little bit about it last night, but there's definitely stuff that you could do on both the crypto end and just the business model. And the business model, you could do like a gym membership model, where it's like, hey, you download the extension, you get 100 uses for free per month, and then $20 a month gets you like 5,000 or something. And then like, hey, you know, maybe it's $490, like fucking $500 or something to get the Max for Live device with unlimited generations, blah blah blah. And then if you're interested in the privacy thing, I have there's like a couple. Either you could, since it generates WAV files and it would be useful to share those with people. You could pin those to IPFS so that you can kind of just like throw up your kind of samples that you're jamming with, and then you could use it for security in that way. Or I have a little, basically like it's just like a open source Clubhouse clone. So like if you took the extension and then just made like a little space where people could share their screen and share their audio with each other, that could be like the first step in like allowing for collaboration. So there's definitely like stuff you could do to like
Are we sort
make
of
it more
thinking
stuff.
like back to MySpace kind of days?
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah,
no,
I wanted to point out that Yikes mentioned the Max for Live device too. That's another
Yeah,
part of this.
that's the thing. Yeah, he built that shit. That's good.
So yeah, I'm sharing my screen right now. Obviously, it's got the worst UI in the world. Me and GPT built this when he did not have vision. But the function, I mean, it's going to be easy to do a JavaScript UI for it.
Yeah,
and it's just that same deal. You know, anyway.
Oh, this thing.
Okay, I mean, we are going to have to wrap this up and sort of move on to the next one. But if anybody has anything sort of like final that they want to mention, or if you guys have anything that you want to point out, again, I think the consensus we sort of come to is trying to look at more ways that we can use this in other projects and things like that. And maybe if other people are looking for interesting ways to make use of it. But yeah, no, okay, that was brilliant. Well, thank you very much for coming up, Kev.
Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks.
Cheers. And then next we have Ambition. So we'll bring Ambition up. And so this is a Web3 wallet module.
Hello everyone. Thanks
Hey
so much for
Ambition.
giving me a chance. Yep.
We can hear you, although you are still a little bit muffled, so just try and be clear as you're communicating.
Okay, sure. So, yeah, this is Ambition, who is the leader of in Web3 wallet development. So,
do you have any visuals to go along with this, Ambition?
Yep, sure.
Yeah, if there's anything that you can share your screen.
Yep, let me present what we have done in the last days. So, let me share.
Yeah, no problem.
Please let me know if you can see my screen.
It's just loading at the moment for myself anyway. All right, it's popped up for me, so it should be visible for everybody else, I think. But yeah, if you just sort of want to talk us through what we're seeing here.
So, let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see okay.
Okay, great. So, the goal of this Web3 wallet is we can transfer our balance, which means cryptocurrency, to transfer by write the username instead of wallet key. Wallet public key, I mean. So that let me explain as going step by step from the register. So we can.
So it's sort of like instead of having to use your passphrase for everything, you can go back to sort of using like a standardized username.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
There's a potential concern there is if you use a really small password, someone can easily brute force that.
Yeah,
I used to think that too. That's cool. But maybe you can use a long password. But it definitely lets you control the the seed phrase.
I think one of the other benefits is that they're looking at is also that it allows you to use like a similar login for multiple different wallets as opposed to having to have individual ones.
Yes. No, that's really cool.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, no, we've been working on that. Awesome.
And also, we can unlock the profile picture. You should it's a net of things, so like try another like this profile picture. And then try to create the new account. If we create a new account, it will generate several feeds. Mnemonic seed like master seed, and under the master seed we have several kind of children feed. Children private feed like for the multiple chains, multiple blockchain like Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, and so on. As you can see here, so we can see current balance in this, as you can see in this UI, and also we can see current balance changing by breakthrough, and also
Okay.
Know how many BTC and Solana and Ethereum tokens are available for my wallet, in my wallet. Okay, and then try to click right? So Solana, and if we click Solana, we can see details and all trades and transactions initial. So this is kind of MVP. So no special functionality, but you can better know what is the idea for this project.
Okay, and I mean, this is going to be like a dynamic graph that updates, will it?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Okay.
So we can try to send this we can try to send the cryptocurrency by putting the other username.
Okay, so instead of putting in their wallet address itself.
And if we try to put the other username, ensure the other user's profile picture will be appeared, so that we can confirm what the receiver, so that if there is it will reduce the mistake when transfer the current balance.
Okay.
That is
It seems like it has a lot of like very convenient features on it to sort of just make life a little bit easier.
Yep. That is the main goal for this project. So I'm gonna add the deposit button in here as well, so that and also we can integrate with some other centralized wallet like Binance and Coinbase maybe. So in the future.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks very interesting so far.
Yep. So yep, I think this is the main about the MVP project explanation. So yep, you can ask any question if you have. Thank you.
Yeah, if anybody has anything that they want to ask here about the functionality of this or sort of where it's going or anything along those lines, then feel free. But if not, I know that we want to bring Yuki back on for a moment because he has a few comments, last few comments that he wants to make. So if anybody has anything, then feel free to say now.
I want to ask a question involving the what's the how can I where's the seed phrase stored here? Is the seed phrase stored? Yeah, is it stored on the client or is it stored in the server?
No, it will be stored in the server, not client, and this will be encrypted.
That's true, but even then, there is always a point in time where it's not encrypted, and so how do we have a fully client-based like wallet that doesn't allow me to trust any of my keys? I personally wouldn't trust having someone else holding my keys because I wouldn't know whether they could save the password and use that password to decrypt it.
I mean, do you have a suggestion for how they'd maybe be able to change it, fam, to make it sort of safe in a way that you would be able to use it yourself?
Yes. So I would recommend having everything stored on the client side. The key needs to be stored on the client side. Like MetaMask does this. One of our projects, we're building a multi-chain wallet, and it's more of the web app. So it's a client side one, but we can combine it with this more server side style. And then essentially, we'd want something that's on this. Like if it's something that involves a lot of information, or like let's say money, having your keys on someone else's server is never a good idea. And so we need to find a way well, we already know a way. It's like, MetaMask does it. So we just need to have a MetaMask style wallet that anyone can use to include to their websites for logins and making sure.
Yep, I understand what you mean. So actually this is for you are saying about the security problems. So actually the seed will be encrypted with the user's own private data, own personal data. So even though he is admin, he cannot decrypt user's seed from the database. So
okay, we'll go into it a bit more. I'll look into it. But yeah, that's my main concern is the encryption, or where the key is stored, and whether who can access that key. Because whenever you're storing something on the server side, it could always it could always get like leaked somehow. There's always a point of leak unless you have it on the client side. The safest thing is to have everything on the client side, at least your private keys, because you can sign on the client side without giving your keys. So yeah, this is a hard problem, but yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, I mean, what you can do is Yikes put some stuff into the Vibe in Space text channel. I think he's got some information and some insights on this, so it might be worth having a look at that, and then maybe talking to him to see if he's willing to elaborate a little bit more and sort of help a little bit. Because if there is a way to sort of get that added level of security, then by all means, there's going to be a space where people are going to want this extra sort of ease of use, ease of access when dealing with multiple wallets and that kind of thing.
Okay, sounds good.
But thank you very much for coming on, Ambition.
Thank you.
No problem. Right, we'll pull the Yuki back up now. And then we'll go into sort of like a final Q&A sort of session if anybody has anything else, and then we can see what happens. But yeah, Yuki, hello.
Hello.
Hello, you said you had a
So-
few more little bits to communicate to everybody that you didn't get a chance to fit in earlier, so go ahead.
So what I'm going to say is that the main feature of my project, the common block space tracking project. So the main feature of this project is to activate the token, a commune-ai token utilization. So as you can see, I can expand my project to Ethereum and Solana, as well as the Polkadot blockchains.
Okay, so it does have cross-chain compatibility.
Yes. So at the time, I've already input my project to Vercel, but this is only a front-end structure. So I can finish this project in less than 3 weeks. The first week I can develop front end, and the second week I can use Rust program to develop backend parts. So I'm sure that if I build this project, the utility of commune-ai token is increasing very more scalable.
Okay.
So
I think a good suggestion then would be to try and sort of get a much cleaner idea of how people could actively use this, sort of get it laid out in a nice fashion. And then if you do come also with like a front end alongside so that you have something to sort of show everybody on how maybe you're going to be able to demonstrate that it works, then that might help a lot. But go ahead, fam.
Yeah, my big concern is that this is like spreading us too thin. We're already spread pretty thin across a lot of projects. But I think Polkadot right now isn't a great concern just because it's just like going through such a transformation with their cores and shared core space. I would say it's probably best to wait at least a few months when continuing a project like this, because it could be such that like we do this and then the whole ecosystem changes and we basically have to throw, like, a lot of these projects unfortunately are not going to be fully utilized, and we fully understand that. Just like a hedge fund investing in a lot of like startups, knowing that a lot of them aren't going to succeed, we want to try a bunch of different ideas, and with our limited resources, we do bounties, but we want to make sure that we don't want to just do bounties for the sake of bounties. We want to make sure they're strategically targeting useful things, and connecting the community with useful things. So like, it doesn't have to be something new. It could be something that someone's already built. As long as you credit their work and like run it, we'll make sure that you get tokens for running that application. And so if more people find it useful, the more people will find it they'll essentially stake to your model. That's the whole thesis of this project.
Yeah,
and so yeah.
I was just going to say, sorry, I was just going to chime in to say that like the whole point of this event really is for you to sort of like have a clear idea of what it is that you're working on, and have a clear goal for what it is that you're hoping to achieve. And you're either coming on here because you want people to know about what you're creating because it's really good and interesting and you think it has a lot of use, or maybe even to say that actually I'm looking for people who have specific skills to help get involved in this and to help me out in what's going on, This is like a platform for you to speak to the wider audience, because sometimes, you know, messages and things can get lost in the noise of Discord, and this is a clear way for you to sort of engage with the most vocal part of the community, you know. So you're really trying to like sell yourselves or sell what you're making to get other people on board and interested.
I think one could also note the fact that while there are bounties and things like that to potentially get, the projects and things that the community build on top of Commune should also be able to sort of monetize themselves. Just like you see projects on Ethereum, they build that. There's not like there's a bounty for every project. They build something on Ethereum. They build, they find a utility or a use case, and people come and buy the token or stake to the project or whatever. And the build and stake is a perfect opportunity and way for you guys to showcase what you guys built. And if there's an actual need and a use case for it, people will come and pay for your app.
Absolutely, they will. They'll get involved if they think that what you're creating is useful and interesting and it's going to be successful. You know, everybody
Yes.
wants to promote good work.
So, this project is very useful to help the developers, to help smart contract developers to use their Polkadot systems.
I mean,
So
if you
even
can get some
the
examples of the
commune-ai
actual use cases, like visually, or you know, if you could sort of like write out a chain of events, just something so that everybody else can get like a much better idea of exactly how it's going to be used. Because, you know, when somebody says that an application is going to be used to help optimize things and utilize things, unless you're being specific, it can be really difficult for people to get an understanding of what came through. But yeah, I mean, like Bowser said, if you build something, they will come and they will stake. You know, it's
if it's useful, that is should need to add that caveat that if you build it and it's useful and people want it, they will definitely come.
Absolutely,
anyone can come and showcase here on this build and stake to sort of promote your project and the things you build.
Yeah, new, old, you know, big or small, it doesn't matter. We could have one of the larger projects like commune-ai and whatnot come on the build and stake if they're looking for something in particular, or if they really want to showcase what they've been working on. So there really isn't any limitation apart from the amount of effort and work and presentability that you're willing to put in for yourselves. But thank you very much again, Yuki, for coming back on. And we'll sort of move into, I guess, like closing statements, and if anybody has any sort of like last minute questions, and if not, I'll do a little bit of monologuing about the future build and stakes as we go forwards and the application process. So if you guys have anything that you want to talk about immediately.
I had a couple things I just wanted to mention. I'm really excited about the future of Commune, and we're going with this. The whole Yuma consensus thing is going to be a big game changer for the community, and I think it's going to attract a lot more builders, and it's just going to be really good. So we have a couple things in the pipe that we're going to present, but we want to just get them a little bit more polished, and then we're excited to come out of the gate next week to show a lot of that, and then it's going to be a lot of cool functionality. I don't want to tease too much of it, but we're really excited about it. And then the other thing I wanted to mention was the roles that Bowser, Baco, and myself have taken on. I think have really helped the community, and I'm really excited for all the work that we're doing. I think Discord is getting really dialed in nicely. Bowser's work there has been just amazing, and the team underneath him. So you guys are all doing an incredible job. I'm really thrilled at seeing the progress and the organization that's going on here. It's kind of night and day from the way it was when it started and where it's grown and matured into. And I'm really excited to see where that goes and to see how see where Commune goes in the next coming months. But I think as we talked about earlier this week, there's some big changes coming, and with that, we're going to see a lot of innovation. It's going to be really cool. So one of the things I wanted to mention is I wanted to share. There's a key that we have for the roles that get staked to, so that we can have those roles funded, so that we can continue to operate. And so I'm going to put that key here in the chat, so that it's just for just so that there's really good transparency and people know what's going on. So anyway, I wanted to do that for you guys so that you guys know exactly how that's working with the roles. And so I'll go ahead and put that in there. But we're really hoping to continue on, and we're looking forward to getting that staked so that we can continue the work of Discord and organizing roadmaps and organizing project management teams and getting everything dialed in. But like I said, very excited. A lot more to come next week for sure from my end of my perspective. But looking
Yeah, it's been
forward to
incredibly
getting those
exciting.
roles staked again. So that'll be good.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on over the past few weeks, and a lot in the positive camp and a lot in the negative camp, and we're sort of managing to bring all of those eggs into one basket and really see where things are moving from here onwards. Oh, did you have something, Fan?
No, I said this is there's a lot of things changing, a lot of things we obviously haven't seen today. But yeah, hopefully with this reorganization the past week, lots of changes, like our chain upgrade, you know, the announcement I'm going to make on Monday with regards to our slightly new incentive structure that will be probably an update the following week or the week after. Not too big of much of a change, but still need to formulate that out. But yeah, lots of changes happening, as well as like, you know, our developer incentives program, like shifting to a more honest system. Like obviously that was our goal, but you know, you can never be perfect
No,
with
honesty and
things that
transparency
never been done before.
they're hard to get a lot of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
So
think
you
we're
know,
doing a
we're
very good
we're
job.
learning. Yeah, like we're learning. We're trying to build an honest system where anyone can work, for bounties or things that are useful. Whether that's right now stuff that mostly we find useful, but eventually, as this economy grows, it'll be a more open market, and then people will define what like the way I like to see it is like, you know, it's going to be a market of builders and users, and you know, everything else in between. So like, you know, ultimately the builders are the ones that build and the users are the one that use, and then whatever incentivizes that that mechanism, like that relationship is, you know, many forms, but I think
that coexistence.
incentivizing that. Yeah. So, but we're definitely trying to bootstrap these early projects. And yeah, like I think this is obviously we're gonna have a lot of bumps in the road, but yeah, like I'm looking forward to the weeks we have and change.
Once the snowball starts rolling, nobody will stop the avalanche. That's the plan.
Yeah. Well, I think the snowball's already started rolling to a point where I can't even take down the chain if I wanted to. Like if I were to like let's say if I were to quit or something, then people there's so many people that like everyone has to not believe in, like even like unless I was just making this whole lie thing, but you know, even then, like even if I was lying, the whole idea of what I was saying, people will still like that, I think, and at least one person will continue it on. So
I
like,
think it's
you know,
permanently imprinted at this point.
yeah, so it's like I guess it's just like building towards a better future, and like growing the ecosystem to a point where well, you know, I might not have as strong of a say, and I think I'm starting to realize that now. But yeah, like I think just making it better and listening to voices, listening to people, see where people are annoyed.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
avoid
it's sort of like the age-old by the people for the people kind of thing. And that's the end goal, right? Is to make something that the people want to use and something made by the people to be used. And I think that's definitely what we're moving towards here. But I wanted to take a second to sort of just clarify a little bit more about the new build and stake system. So there is an application form that has to be filled out if you want to take part in the build and stake. So again, it doesn't matter if you're big, small in terms of your project or your team or whatever it is that you're working on. It doesn't matter the magnitude. The only important thing is that you have what you would consider to be a good representation of your project to give off, you know. If you don't have much on the visual side, ideally we would like anything on the visual side for us to at least look at, even if it's sort of just something as simple like a few screenshots or something so we can get an idea. Then, you know, make sure that your explanation or your ability to communicate the functionality, specifically the functionality of what you're developing is as crystal clear as possible. And then generally what's going to happen, so the rough format moving forwards is going to be that after each initial build and stake on a Friday, the new announcement will go out about the next week's build and stake, which will have a link to the application form for the following week. Applications generally will close at 11:59 UTC on a Tuesday. So that gives the team arranging the events themselves a few days to make sure they can get in touch with everyone. They can look through the projects, ensure that they're of an appropriate depth, and then sort of take things from there in making the itinerary and the schedule, and they can make any last minute adjustments if possible. So if you are a little bit tight for time and you're not certain you're going to make it, best advice I could give you is push it back to next week. If you do apply for a week and we can't fit you in, you will be at the top of the priority list for coming on board on the next week. So there will be a persistent list to be kept as we go. So please don't feel like you're missing out. If maybe you applied and you didn't get on this week, there will always be next week, and that does give you more time to sort of develop your idea. And if we can, we'll squeeze you in. So as long as you show up and you're around, your best sort of like be prepared, because there might be a chance we'll have time to call on you. You never know when your moment's going to come. But if anybody has any questions about the new process at all, then by all means feel free to fire them away. We aren't going to be taking any more presentations for today. So if you do have anything that you want to, make sure that you sort of get that information compiled and you put it all into the application form that will go out in the announcement later tonight.
Crenshaw, I have a question. Let's say
Yes.
I have a project and I would like to present it at the next Build and Stake. What should I do? What are the steps I'm taking?
So generally, the best thing that you're going to want to do is at least have a comprehensive enough idea of what it is supposed to do and how people are going to use it. Realistically, I would say that's more or less the most important thing, because at least then what we can do is we can give you input on how you can improve it. We can give you ideas on maybe different directions you can go in. Without any visuals, it's difficult to really get excited. So that's going to be step 2 after you've got your comprehensive idea sort of laid out, is making sure you have like some kind of visual, something to show us, some kind of proof of work in front of us of how things are going to go, so that people can sort of follow along. And for those more visual learners as opposed to audio learners, they get an idea, they get like context for what it is that they're seeing. And then if you even have like a very basic version of a working model or something, that's probably going to like elevate things, because again, you're selling yourself. You want to promote the best version of what it is that you're developing at the point that you're at. So normally I'd consider those 3 points of making sure you have a comprehensive idea that you can communicate, both its use and how you're going to develop it. And you have visual assistance, either pictures or videos or something along those lines, something to screen share. And then third and foremost, if there is any kind of demonstrative model that you can provide for us, then that's going to elevate things sort of to the next level.
So visuals, and then clear idea, and then use case, ideally with an example. And then once I have all those, I should, the process, and correct me if I'm wrong, the process would be sometime before Tuesday, I fill out the form that's going to go out in a link in the announcements. Yep. And then on that form, I'll go on a list. And then once it's my turn, I'll get contacted to say, hey, it's your turn this week. Get your slide deck and your example and everything together. And then that's how I'll be able to present my idea. Is that
Yes.
on track?
Absolutely. And there are allowances that can be made if it's like a big project and you sort of have all 3 of those steps. There can be allowances made for you to sort of have a little bit more time on the stage, or we'll extend the event, because as much as we sort of want to keep these events within a time frame to keep them nice and snappy, we also want to make sure that we're showing off what you've made to its fullest. So the more prepared you come to us, the more we're able to give you in terms of either feedback and assistance in developing it in the future, or extra time to sort of show off all of the little features that you have. And if it's a really good project, other people are going to want to ask questions and get involved, and we want them to. So again, the better that you do, the more we can allocate for you.
And just as a curator, let's say I have like a pretty clear idea of something and I have a decent slide deck, but I don't have all the technical skills that I need in order to like put together an example. Is then a good time for me to go on Build and Stake to kind of like show off what I'm thinking about and ask for help, or should I wait until I can kind of track down that team and make it happen?
No, absolutely. I'd say it's probably one of the best times for you to actually come on and do that, because it's when the most engaged members of the community realistically are going to be here, or they'll watch it in post or something like that. So no matter what it is, whether or not you're looking for people to actually stake to you, or if you're looking for people to help you build the project itself, doesn't matter which end of the spectrum that you actually end up on. Just as long as what you're working on has this direction or this vision, or you have this idea in the first place, then either finding new people or getting more people invested, it's like Fam said, you have users and you have builders. Whether you're looking for users to support you or builders to support you, doesn't matter. As long as the idea that you've got is dope, people will get on board.
I think that clears it up for me. Appreciate it.
Perfect. No problem. If there's nothing from anybody else, any last questions?
Oh, I'm good.
Okay. Right. Well, I want to thank everybody for attending then. Kept this nice and snappy, and we got to see some really cool stuff. So I appreciate everybody who did come and present for us. And again, we'll continue to revise and optimize and sort of make this experience better week by week. So if there is any feedback, then by all means, feel free to communicate. But otherwise, I'd like to say thank you very much, everybody, and have a good day, evening, night.
Yeah. Have a good day.
Thanks, guys.
Good, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for showing. And yeah, see you all next week. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, fam.
Cheers.
Take care.
Thanks.